Today marks the beginning of my second week of holiday this month. The weather is still pretty dismal, and there is literally a building site next door. So I'm abandoning my existing plans for finishing off another mic drop, and we're going to go and do a little sort of vlog and walk, and I'm going to practice holding this camera vlog style, which actually works a bit better than I thought. So let's see how this goes. Walking down the quiet back streets of Southville somehow doesn't quite have the same impact as your Casey Neistat booze boarding through the streets of New York. I'm on my way to do a kind of double check location scout for the one that I'm working on that I need to wait for actual good weather for, because it's been a little while since I actually went and checked out the location, and I want to make sure I know exactly where I'm going to film. And while I was at it, I figured, let's do another mic drop. Oh, it's starting to spit, and I haven't even got to the place where I'm intending to film this mic drop yet. This could go badly. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Raindrop. Boy, it sure is a good idea I left the house to get away from all that building site noise, isn't it? I said, boy, it sure is a good idea. Earlier in the year I mentioned that for Christmas and birthday I got a whole bunch of albums that were from 1995. And probably the one I've been enjoying most is... Hold on, fishing it out of pockets. Come here. Bloody pockets. Red Medicine by Fugazi. The purpose of getting these albums was because I'd started getting into these bands when I was a teenager, and then I'd kind of overdone it and copied or bought all of the albums. So with like Skunk Anansie and Caius, it was more like catching up on stuff which I'm already fairly familiar with. Fugazi though, I was able to catch myself before I actually spent all of my money on their records. So I haven't actually listened to all of their albums to death already. So it's been really fun to rediscover their music and to save up something, because it's not that often I've come across a new band that I love every bit as much as the bands that I loved ever since I was 13 years old. So it's nice to know that there's a few bands out there who are just absolutely my thing that I can still discover new albums by. It's pretty rare that happens, and Fugazi actually really nailed how to keep developing and keep changing their sound without just drastically going in a different direction. Red Medicine's one of their later albums, so you can see them bringing different ideas. It's not quite the straightforward hardcore punk that they went for in their early days, but it's also not oh, we've decided we're an 80s pop band now. Man, I'm looking at you. It's just a really solid album that nails how to create something that is definitely new and exciting from the point of view of someone like me, who occasionally goes into mad experimental phases and checks out all kinds of weird shit just because I get bored of the same music over and over again. But there's also just a really solid punk album. Fell Destroyed is probably my favourite track off the album. I love the title and the lyrics. It's more of a poem than a song in the way it's constructed, which is quite interesting. But the thing that really makes it stand out is the vocals. I think they're really representative of the way they push their musical style on this one. It definitely shows that in addition to the sort of the yawning punk vocals and the shouty punk vocals, there's actually some quite tuneful stuff in there as well, mixed in. It's really good. The guitar work is also fantastic throughout, but that's pretty much par for the course with Fugazi. There's definitely something about bands like Television back in the 70s, if you get a punk band who are also really good at just making interlocking guitar parts, it's really satisfying because it's simultaneously really raw and it's got all the energy and the passion of punk, but at the same time, if you're a massive music nerd, like music nerd, that's a word. Nerd is the word. If you're a massive music nerd like me, nailed it. You still have something to really dig into when you come back to the song again and again. And that's about all I have to say about the song, really. This was only meant to be a couple of minutes, and then I kind of got sidetracked by my little adventure around town. And now my arm hurts, and I've almost sat on the CD at least once, so I'm on my way home. Have a great week, everyone.